Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Robin Kenobi, and in this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the upcoming 2016 Royal Rumble match because as of this Monday, the stakes couldn't have been any higher. You know, the ante was just raised, and I'm just the more I think about it, the more excited I get for this year's Royal Rumble because now the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is going to be on the line. This past Monday on Raw, Roman Reigns had to defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Sheamus with Mr. McMahon as a special guest referee. Roman overcame the odds, you could say. Superman punched Vince a second time, managed to spear Sheamus and get the 1-2-3 with the assistance of one of WWE's backstage referees. After that, Vince got on the mic and said that Roman would be defending his WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the Royal Rumble. And he said that since Roman's motto is one versus all, he's going to have to defend it against multiple guys. Now, when Vince said that, I immediately thought that it was going to be a gauntlet match. It was going to be Roman versus all four members of the League of Nations. But instead, Vince dropped a bombshell. And that bombshell is that Roman has to defend the championship against 29 other guys in the Royal Rumble match. And this will mark only the second time in WWF/E history that the WWE Championship, the World Championship, is on the line in the Royal Rumble match. Of course, the only other time this happened, 1992, when Ric Flair won the vacant WWF Championship in my personal favorite Royal Rumble match, the greatest Royal Rumble match in history. And, almost 25 years later, they're going to do it again. Only this time, it's Roman who has to defend the championship. So this will mark the second time that the championship has been on the line in a Royal Rumble match, but only the first time that the current champion, has to defend his championship in this match. Now, when I first heard the news, as I watched Raw live on Monday, my jaw dropped because I was like, wow, they're actually gonna have the championship on the line in the Royal Rumble match. Then I started thinking about it, and I had some mixed feelings about this. Like I said, my jaw dropped because I was like, wow, they're actually going to have the championship on the line in the Royal Rumble. Like, I honestly didn't expect this because I was thinking either Triple H was going to return and he was going to assault Roman, and I was going to set the stage for them to meet at Royal Rumble with the title on the line, or Brock Lesnar was going to return and just maul and manhandle Roman, and they would clash at Royal Rumble. But instead, Vince drops the bombshell that Roman has to defend the championship against 29 other guys in the Royal Rumble match. I had mixed emotions, not mixed emotions, but I had mixed feelings about it at first because I was like, well, isn't that sort of predictable now that, Roman's champion and he has to defend the championship in the Royal Rumble match? Like, isn't that kind of predictable that he's going to win it? But then I stopped and I thought about it. And with the title on the line, there is a really good possibility that this could go either way. A number of guys could end up winning the championship. This match can go one of two ways. Roman retains the championship. He overcomes all the odds and retains the championship. Or he's screwed out of the championship and we're guaranteed a new champion. I mean, the more I think about it, the more excited I get because of the possibility of who may end up winning the championship. And as of now, when you look at the roster, when you look at who's been announced for the Royal Rumble match, I haven't checked SmackDown spoilers because I'm probably going to watch SmackDown on Hulu. But so far, 10 participants have been announced. Roman, of course, the defending champion. Chris Jericho, who returned on Raw on Monday. All four members of the Wyatt family. So that's Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, Big Show, and Curtis Axel. So that's 10 guys who have been announced for the Royal Rumble match. I believe the New Day is going to be in the match, so that'll make 13. With the title on the line, you never know who may show up in this Rumble match. I had the idea of The Undertaker possibly showing up in the Royal Rumble match And you know, Undertaker doesn't have to win the championship. If Taker makes a surprise appearance in the Royal Rumble match this year with the title on the line, that'd be great, but I wouldn't see him winning the title. You know, it just excites me because, like I said, there's a possibility that either Roman's going to retain or he's going to get screwed out of the championship and we're going to crown a new champion. Like I said, with the title on the line, anyone can enter this Rumble match. You know, Brock Lesnar is returning this Monday night on Raw, so you gotta believe he's gonna throw his name into the hat, and he may be the favorite. He may be the front runner to win the championship if he enters that match. I honestly thought John Cena was gonna enter the Royal Rumble match this year, but as of last night, he announced that he has to undergo surgery as of today. He has to undergo shoulder surgery, excuse me. So he's not going to be in the match, that's for sure. And me bringing up Undertaker, you know, if Cena and Undertaker were in the match and they had a little face-to-face confrontation, that could ultimately set the stage for their match at WrestleMania 32. Now, going back to Cena real quick, his injury couldn't have come at a worse time for WWE because WWE has lost a lot of top talent due to injury, you know, throughout 2015. Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, and now this, you know, just 1 week into the new year, John Cena is going to be out for about 6 to 9 months due to shoulder surgery. This really couldn't have come at a worse time for WWE because, you know, Cena's their poster boy. He's definitely missing WrestleMania 32. And with a Rumble match of this caliber, you know, WWE is really backed up into a corner this time. And I hope that now they realize that they need to create new stars. You can't rely on John Cena, especially when he's about to be 39 years old and his body is breaking down like this. You can't rely on John Cena. You know, and with him, Orton, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Seth Rollins all injured, WWE really needs to make new stars. I mean, you've got Neville, you've got Kalisto, you've got Kevin Owens, the New Day. They're already top stars on the main roster, but keep pushing them strong. You know, you've got a lot of young talent with potential. You need to push them. You need to make them new stars because, you know, this is probably the worst it's ever been for the WWE with regards to, you know, injuries. No Cena, no Orton, no Cesaro, no Rollins, no Daniel Bryan. I mean, they have lost 5 of their top stars. Who they have left are Roman, Owens, Ambrose. You got Lesnar. But, I mean, who else? You know, I'm gonna use a bit of info that the Lex Man used in his review in his video. When Stone Cold Steve Austin went down with neck injury in 1989, you had a ton of top stars in the Attitude Era. You had Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Kane. You had X-Pac. You had the New Age Outlaws. You had the Hardy Boys. You had Edge, Christian, the Dudleys. You had just a ton of top stars, you know, who were going to take WWE into the new millennium. You know, you had Mick Foley for a little bit. You had Jericho. You had a lot of top stars going into the Attitude Era. And, you know, now more than ever, WWE needs new top stars. They need to make new stars. I don't know what else they need that would serve as a wake-up call for them to make new stars. I mean, if Roman Reigns, God forbid, Roman Reigns goes down with an injury as champion, then the WWE is screwed enormously. I could use another word, but I don't want to get graphic. But yeah, they would be they'd be screwed pretty much. And there'd be no coming back unless they have new stars. So it's unfortunate that Cena got injured again, and you have to wonder, can this guy even go anymore with his body breaking down like this? He's 39 years old. He's pretty much injury prone, you know. This guy has suffered injury after injury after injury seemingly every year. And it's just a matter of time before he suffers that one injury and he just can't go anymore. So it's unfortunate. And like I've said, I mean, I don't know how many times, not just me, but a bunch of us here on the YWC have stressed that WWE needs to make new stars, but they seriously need to make new stars. I mean, I could say this is the breaking point, but if Roman Reigns goes down, God forbid, with an injury anytime soon, WWE is screwed in so many ways. And that ultimately will be the breaking point right there. So it's unfortunate that Cena is injured. He's not going to be in the Royal Rumble match because, you know, if Undertaker was in that match too, and they had a face-to-face confrontation, that could have ultimately helped set the stage for their match at WrestleMania 32, which was supposed to happen. That was the rumored match for 32, Undertaker versus John Cena. And with Cena not being a part of WrestleMania 32, WWE is going to really have to make as many stars as they can between now and WrestleMania 32 in order to make that show a success, because we're going into the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and they don't have a few of their top stars. So WWE, I think it's time to seriously put up or shut up with regards to making new stars. Now, this video is about my thoughts on the 2016 Royal Rumble match, but I am incorporating other news that broke this week, other major news that also can relate to this. Now, regarding surprise entrants, there's one surprise entrant that's creating a lot of buzz in the wrestling world, and that is AJ Styles. Of course, the news broke on, I think it was Tuesday. It was Monday or Tuesday, the news broke that WWE might have signed AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson. And all four of them are, of course, the four hottest stars in New Japan Pro. Well, four of the hottest stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think that's huge. Gallows previously wrestled in WWE under two different aliases. Festus, which I thought was a really stupid gimmick, and then Luke Gallows when he was part of the Straight Edge Society. But the WWE dropped the ball with him in that faction. Excuse me, when he was a part of that faction. Now, as far as AJ is concerned, there is talk of him going straight to the main roster if he did sign with WWE. And what better way for him to make noise than for him to enter the Royal Rumble match? If he does enter the Royal Rumble match, however, he cannot be eliminated like 5 minutes in. If he enters the Royal Rumble match, he needs to make it to the top 4 or 5. He needs to be in the final 4 or 5 and just look strong throughout that match. And that's how you establish AJ Styles as one of your future top stars in WWE. You want to make an impact, you have him go in there, maybe eliminate a couple guys, maybe go toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar if Brock's in the match. Who knows? Gallows and Anderson, maybe they could be surprise entrants in the match. Remember, guys, it's for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Traditionally, the winner of the Royal Rumble match is guaranteed a shot at the champion, whoever that champion may be, at WrestleMania, pretty much. This year, the ante is raised higher than it ever could be. It's for the championship. The winner has a chance to leave champion and guarantee their spot in the main event of WrestleMania 32. And like I said, either Roman's going to retain or a new champion will be crowned. And honestly, if Roman loses a championship, if Triple H screws him out of the championship, that's the perfect way to set up Roman Reigns versus Triple H at WrestleMania 32, because it doesn't have to be for the championship. This program between Roman and Triple H is all about establishing Roman as the top star in the WWE, establishing him as the new face of the company. And what better way to get him over than by having him beat a 15-time champion in Triple H? Is he a 13-time champion or 15-time champion? Either way, a decorated world champion like Triple H, having Roman beat someone of Triple H's caliber is the best way to put him over and establish him as the top face in WWE, especially on a grand stage like WrestleMania 32. Excuse me. And if that is the case, then who goes into WrestleMania as the champion? All these potential scenarios are what make me excited for this Royal Rumble match. Um, there's a ton of different scenarios. They could give the championship to Chris Jericho. That would be awesome because Jericho's never won a Royal Rumble match. So how awesome would that be if Jericho wins the championship and he goes on to headline WrestleMania 32? That would only be the second time he headlines a WrestleMania. You have to excuse me, my throat's bothering me a little bit. But anyway, that's only the second time he would go on to headline WrestleMania. But I mean, for him to win the Royal Rumble and also win the championship in the same match, that would be incredible for a career of his caliber. But whoever, if they do go with a new champion, whoever they give the championship to, it better not be some weak run. Like if they give it to Brock Lesnar better be facing some elite caliber opponent at WrestleMania 32 with the title on the line. One piece of advice is if Daniel Bryan's going to come back, they better keep him out of this match. Because I love Daniel Bryan. This is nothing against Daniel Bryan. But if they put him in that match and he doesn't win, that crowd's going to get pissed. If he returns in that match, the crowd's going to immediately cheer for him. They're going to immediately root for him. They'll be on his side all the way. And if he gets eliminated, whoever wins is going to get booed. We're going to have a repeat of the past 2 Royal Rumbles. And hopefully with the championship on the line and, new names to be announced and hopefully some OMG surprise entrants like possibly Taker, AJ, Nakamura, hopefully this Royal Rumble will deliver. The past 2 Royal Rumble matches have not delivered. The one in 2014, that one sucked. Last year's match, to me, I didn't think it was as bad, but still, it was not better than 2014. So hopefully, this year's Royal Rumble match is a much better Rumble match. You've got the title on the line. You have something, I've said this before, WWE has something really good going. They're trying to really build momentum going into WrestleMania 32. And this is a really good start. Now, what ultimately matters is the payoff. Does Roman retain the championship? Does that kill any momentum he has? If he does that kill any momentum WWE has? Or that he has going into WrestleMania 32? Could Triple H possibly enter this match and win the championship and then, set up a #1 contenders match at Fastlane where Roman ultimately wins and solidifies his spot in the main event? The more I think about it, while I'm happy Roman's champion, I really think that the Roman-Triple H rivalry can ultimately be decided without the championship. It's ultimately about establishing Roman as the next face of the company, as the new main event player. And like I said, what better way to do that than by having him defeat one of the all-time greats, a decorated champion in Triple H. Triple H doesn't really need the championship. Now, if he was to win the championship of Royal Rumble, I wouldn't have a problem with it because that just puts another hurdle in front of Roman that he has to overcome to ultimately get back what was once his and ultimately knock Triple H off the top of the mountain and maybe even put the Authority out of power if they decide to do some stipulation where it's like Roman's career versus Triple H's title and his power as, COO and whatnot. The Authority once went out of power at Survivor Series 2014, and of course that didn't last long. If Roman was to step up at WrestleMania 32 and fight Triple H, with the stipulations being if Roman loses, not only does, his career is pretty much over, but if he beats Triple H, not only does he become the champion, but the Authority is out of power forever, then, that would have more meaning. So, I'm excited for Royal Rumble 2016. I am expecting guys like Ambrose, Kevin Owens to throw their name into the hat and enter the Royal Rumble match. And like I said, guys, I don't want to say it's predictable that Roman's going to win. Roman's going to retain. But then again, there's a possibility he may not win. He could get screwed over, and we could have a new champion. So I'm really excited just for the fact that we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Either a new champion is going to be crowned, or Roman is going to retain. I don't know, either Roman retains or a new champion is crowned. Those are the 2 possibilities. But I'm just really excited because, like I said, you got Jericho in this match. Brock will most likely throw his name in the hat. Owens, Ambrose, they'll most likely announce their their campaign or whatnot for the Royal Rumble match. You never know what could happen. I mean, what if it ends up coming down to Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and these two guys just beat the hell out of each other for 7-10 minutes? Like, one thing I don't want is a repeat of last year where we thought Roman won the match, and then Rusev gets back in the ring and Roman spears him and just dumps him out. Like, this Royal Rumble needs to have a definitive finish. It has to have a memorable finish and quite a strong finish, you know. So I just imagine if it comes down to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and they're kicking the crap out of each other for like a good 5-7 minutes, and then in the end, one of them ends up eliminating the other and walks out with the championship. You never know. I mean, what if it comes down to Roman and Dean Ambrose again? Or what if Roman gets screwed over and it comes down to like Brock Lesnar and Kevin Owens, or Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, or Undertaker, Brock Lesnar? I mean, you never know what could happen in this match. I mean, now with, like I said, the title on the line, the ante being raised higher, it's anybody's ball game pretty much, you know. So, like I said, I'm excited. I really hope that WWE delivers big time with this match and with the Royal Rumble pay-per-view in general. I mean, we need a really good Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So, with what WWE is doing, this is their chance to deliver big time. You know, the title on the line, the chance, you know, the fact that Roman may have no chance in hell, as Vince likes to say, of leaving WWE champion. This is gonna, whatever happens, could create a lot of buzz going into WrestleMania 32. You know, this is the road to WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania season. So if WWE wants to sell out WrestleMania 32, if they want to make WrestleMania 32 the biggest show, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, well, this is a great way to start. And they just need to, you know, come through with a lot of big, they just need to come through big time and have us buzzing and leaving us wanting to watch more Raw and more SmackDown and see what happens. Just keep us invested. And of course, with, you know, Cena out, they just need to build new stars we can believe in, we can relate to, that we can have faith in going into WrestleMania 32. So yeah, so for WWE Royal Rumble, it's going to be hit or miss. Well, pretty much starting with this coming Monday on Raw, as they continue to build toward Royal Rumble, it's going to be hit or miss from here on out, because they have a chance to make WrestleMania 32 one hell of a WrestleMania. They want to make it the biggest of all time. They have a chance, and this Royal Rumble match could really, really give them the boost they need, the momentum they need to enter WrestleMania 32 on a real strong foot. But of course, they need to build new stars. They can't rely on the Randy Ortons, the John Cenas, the Undertakers, the Brock Lesnars. They need new talent. They need to just remember what happened at one point in the Monday Night War where they were almost out of business, you know, because WCW was killing them in the ratings. Don't make it all about ratings. Make it about a strong product, strong stars, and just giving back to your fans. That's all I would say. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to end the video right here because I don't want to just keep going on rambling. But those are my thoughts on this year's upcoming Royal Rumble match, as well as my thoughts on Cena being injured and his exclusion from the Royal Rumble match, and the possibility of AJ Styles, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Shinsuke Nakamura being signed to WWE. Who knows if any of them are going to make an appearance in the Royal Rumble match? Who knows if The Undertaker is going to make a special appearance in the Royal Rumble match? Hell, who knows if The Rock is going to make an appearance in the Royal Rumble match? Because the championship is on the line. You know, anybody can make a surprise appearance in this Royal Rumble match. With the championship on the line, you never know who's going to show up. So we'll see what happens, guys. I mean, I could probably do a whole separate video on The Rock entering this Royal Rumble and how him winning the title and screwing Roman over could ultimately lead to him versus Roman at WrestleMania 32 or WrestleMania 33, you know, based on how soon they want it. WWE wants to do this. But that's pretty much it for my video, guys. Leave your comments down below on all these topics. Who do you think may win the Royal Rumble match? Who do you think may be a surprise entrant in this match? What do you think about Cena's latest injury? Do you think he might have to hang up the boots this year or next year? And what are your thoughts on the buzz about the 4 New Japan Pro Wrestling stars possibly signing with WWE? So that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Have a nice day and a nice weekend, and I'll see you all later.